The fencer position or the fencer split squat or fencer squat position is a great setup for introducing some mobility training or better setups into your strength training exercises. It's a great low-level drill to start to get some motion back in the hips and maybe even the low back so that you can start training your legs in that stacked position and gaining mobility while you're doing your strength training. If we're dealing with loads and layers of tension and we feel like we don't have as much control of our hips and our knees as we used to, it's not necessarily an age thing. It might just be that you have a lot of layers of tension. We need to start to slowly peel some of those back. And once you get to the point where you're going to reintroduce these mobility ideas back into your training, this is a great setup to start to open up the rotation of your legs, create a little bit of mobility changes in the hips, but also integrate that with the control of your knee and mobility in your ankle as well. We can get some supination and some pronation benefits from that, and IR and ER on the hips. And so the fencer squat is just opening up the legs just a little bit to give ourselves some external rotation and give us some space to move so we can play around and start to earn back some of that force producing and that IR that we're looking for in the mobility training. And so depending on your structure, obviously, and what you're dealing with, but it's like a sumo position and everybody's different. So your fencer position might start out like this, or you might have capacity to do it this way. The key is to be able to get in the right position and feel the right sensations. And we just want to take our time with this. This is something that you can fly through and feel like you're doing amazing, but you might be just off, so you're not going to get the benefits. So number one, we want to find a good stance that feels comfortable. It's not going to be a true sumo where we're super wide, even though we might get to that point eventually. It's going to kind of be a little bit more rectangular like this, as opposed to like a big square or like a 90-degree. It's still going to be kind of a square position, but a little bit more rectangular so that we can bring this back leg in. But again, everyone's different. So we want to make sure that we can get into this maybe quarter squat position and get nice and relaxed. We want to start the stacking process by just letting go of that zipper from the belly button all the way back to your shorts tag on the back. Just let everything go. Take a couple relaxing exhales and let your pelvis just kind of fall into neutral so that you can stack yourself. Once that pelvis falls into neutral and you're not arching too bad back here, we want to get nice and tall and we want to feel like we're really heel heavy. We want to just get a nice exhale, feel your obliques turn on. Now we know we've got a good stacked and kind of neutral pelvis, and we're going to go after what we're looking for in the front leg here. For the fencer split squat or fencer squat, whatever it's called, we are going to get loaded and focus on the front leg in this position, okay? So you want to be in what's called a negative shin angle when you get started. So you want a little bit of a reach forward. So you notice how my knee is behind my ankle, okay? And we want to make sure we can feel all 3 points of contact, or really 4 points of contact in your lead foot. And you're not super worried about that on the back foot at this point. We just want to make sure we're feeling the right things on the lead leg. So I'm going to get myself set up in a negative shin angle. Oh, excuse me, negative shin angle here. Boom, okay? And once I'm here in this negative shin angle, the negative shin angle is going to make me heavier on the outside of my heel. And that's what I'm looking for when I get started. So I want to be negative shin angle, but knees not locked. I'm stacked, I'm nice and tall. My torso's kind of open. Sternum and zipper are kind of looking over that 45-degree angle right here. And I'm nice and relaxed. And I'm going to look for heaviness in the outside of my heel. And that's naturally going to start to pull my thigh out. And you might have to help it by like pulling that knee out just a little bit. And you're going to feel the outside of your right hip start to turn on. And if you don't, you might be too wide. Bring your stance in a little bit more narrow, or we might need to adjust your programming a little bit to make sure you're ready for this position, okay? So we're looking for the knee out and the heel heavy on the outside, and the ball of the pinky toe is heavy, okay? And I got a lot of tension in this upper hamstring, lower glute, and my abductors a little bit on this side because I'm kind of creating this external rotated position, okay? Once I have that, I'm going to think about getting heavier in this position, maybe squatting down a little bit further while staying in this negative shin position so I can find all 4 points of contact in my foot. And when I do that, the goal is to have your hip, your knee, and your second toe in a straight line, okay? And if you don't, we might have to get it adjusted and change the position or set you up a little bit better, but we're looking for that outer heel pulls the knee out, and then the 4 points of contact, I'm going to push through my inner heel and the ball of my big toe. And you notice my knee and my shin kind of internally rotate so that I get that straight line. That's what we're looking for. We're looking for external rotation of the thigh, and we're looking for internal rotation and pronation, internal rotation of the tibia and pronation of the foot. And then we can start to layer this untwisting of this leg into movements like just a fencer split squat where we're sinking into it and slowly getting lower, or an iso hold, or cable positions, or we're doing split squats with kettlebells, we can layer this in. But the whole idea is to get an untwisting of this lead leg, because a lot of times if we lose rotation in the hips and our hip mobility is crap, we might end up with an anterior tilted pelvis. We might end up with hips and knees that are twisting inside a little bit. And that is not a bad thing at all. But if it starts to limit your ability to do the things you want in life or in the gym, then we start to add these ideas back into your programming. And the best part about this is a great way to get set up for better muscle activation in split squats in the future. So stack yourself. I'm locked in. Everything's ready to rock. Let's say I got a dumbbell here. I'm about to do dumbbell split squats, contralateral, opposite side. I find those hips, I find that stack, I rotate my back leg in, and now my front leg is locked and rocked, and we're gonna go straight down into that pronated position, and now I can feel my glutes so much more. So it's a fencer squat position. Those are all the benefits of it and how we would progress it. The goal of it is, again, to set yourself up in a stack, get external rotation in the thigh to get all these outer muscles of your hip turning on, and then train those while we try to stay heavy in the heel and the ball of the big toe and try to get that pronation. So you're going to slowly start to progress this where we're supinated in a negative shin angle. We're sinking down. Notice how the shin is moving forward. And as the shin moves forward, I'm getting some pronation and I'm starting to open up the foot and the hip at the same time with a good untwisting that's going to improve all of your lower body lifts. So that's how the fencer position, whatever exercise you're doing, fencer split squats, fencer squats, all the above, that's how the general position is set up, guys. Enjoy. It's going to help you, I promise. That's how it's done. Very nice, I like.